So now today we will start our lecture number 14, uh, 14, and that is the synchronous power coefficient and synchronizing torque. In previous lecture, we discussed and derived the equation of power angle characteristic of synchronous motor or synchronous machine, both for the salient pole as well as cylindrical rotor machine. For the cylindrical rotor machine, the power angle relation or power angle characteristic of synchronous alternator P is equal to EF Vt upon synchronous reactance XS into sine delta. Whereas for the non-cylindrical machine, that is a salient pole machine, power angle characteristic P is equal to EF Vt upon XD, direct axis reactance, into sine delta plus Vt square upon 2 into bracket 1 upon x cube minus 1 upon xd into sine twice delta. So the equation and its characteristic already we have discussed. Here we have already drawn a power angle relation for the cylindrical rotor machine. This is for the cylindrical rotor machine. Okay, this is for the alternator. Cylindrical alternator is there. So the synchronizing power coefficient is nothing but it is the rate of change of, or it is the change of synchronous power, the power P with respect to the angle delta. So the change in power with respect to angle delta is nothing but the derivative of power equation with respect to angle delta. Okay, so it is written as synchronizing power coefficient PSY is equal to dP upon d delta. So if you derive the equation number 1, say this is equation number 1, we got this is here it is nothing but EF Vt divided by XS into cos delta, isn't it? And for the cylindrical rotor machine, for the say salient pole synchronous machine, dP upon d delta, that is PSY, is equal to EF Vt upon XT into cos delta plus 2 comes here, so 2 get cancelled, only it is a Vt square into bracket 1 upon x cube minus 1 upon xt into cos of twice delta. So these are the equation, or these are the values of synchronizing power coefficient. Now, if you look at this equation, PSY is nothing but EF Vt XS into cos delta. So this term, this constant term will remain as it is mentioned in the power angle characteristic. Only the change is a cos delta. So if you, now we are going to plot the curve for the PSY or synchronizing power coefficient is equal to, it is nothing but the some value at some angle delta is equal to 0. Say at delta is equal to 0, P is equal to PSY is equal to EF Vt upon XS, and say it is the maximum value, and at delta is equal to 90, it is PSY is equal to 0, and at delta is equal to 180 degree. So it is a maximum value, but it is in the opposite direction. It is under the maximum value, but under the opposite direction. So we can plot this curve for the PSY, that is the synchronizing power coefficient. So its maximum value will remain same. So its maximum value will remain same. Only the change is that at delta is equal to 0, at delta is equal to 0, at delta is equal to 90, and it is 180 degree. So it will be maximum at delta is equal to 0 and goes to the 0 value at 90 degree, and again it is increasing in the opposite direction. So this is the curve. This curve is for power angle P, and whereas this is the curve for PSY, synchronizing power coefficient. So what are the information? What are the different information we can collect from these two curves? Especially for the curve PSY, it is positive as long as as long as if you increase, for example, say for example for the power P, if you increase the load, angle also increases. So if you increase the load in this direction, if you are increasing the load, the angle also increases up to some value, and at this point the power is maximum. Now if you again increase the load, what happened? The angle increases, whereas the power decreases. So there is no meaning to increase the power, to increase the load on the system, whereas the output power or active power get decreases. So we can say that up to this point, so I will draw with different color. So up to this point, the system is stable. Up to this point, we can say that the machine is stable, or alternator is stable. Whereas from this one, if you increase the load on the alternator, no doubt the angle get increases, but the power start decreasing. So this is unstable region. So this is the unstable region. Now look at to this curve. So we can say that here the synchronizing power coefficient is as long as the synchronizing power coefficient is positive, the system is stable. And once the power goes to the zero value or less than zero value, the synchronizing power goes to the less than zero value, that is in the minus sign, the system becomes unstable. So our criteria become the dP upon d delta, or it is the synchronizing power coefficient, is as long as it is greater than and equal to 0, the system is stable. Okay, are you getting? Say here it is the maximum value. The meaning is that delta is equal to 0. It is not supplying any load. But say at some particular value of load, say here at this point delta 0, it is supplying power to the system where the mechanical input and electrical output is same. Here the mechanical input is there and electrical output is same. So your mechanical input is equal to the electrical output. Under system, the value of synchronizing power is this one, isn't it? So this synchronizing power is positive and large value. So system is stable. Now if you increase the load on the alternator, no doubt the angle get increases. Here the power also get increases. But what is the value of synchronizing power coefficient? So synchronizing power coefficient is very small, and we can say that it is the verge of instability. Any disturbance, any minute change or sudden application of fault, sudden increase in load, sudden decrease in load, or there may be a loss of power, loss of generation. So this oscillation or this sudden change may push the synchronous alternator into the unstable region. Okay, so as long as our dP upon d delta or synchronizing power coefficient PSY is greater than equal to 0, the system is stable. And whereas when it is a negative value, that is less than 0 value, the synchronizing power coefficient is less than 0 or negative value, the system becomes unstable. So this is the significance of the synchronizing power coefficient, and therefore the power angle characteristic of a synchronous machine, alternator, synchronous alternator as well as synchronous motor is very important for other electrical subjects also. Okay, now from this one it is quite possible to calculate the synchronizing torque coefficient, which is nothing but what is the relation between torque and torque and power. So it is equal to say power is equal to omega into T. So torque is equal to 1 upon omega into P. So therefore synchronizing coefficient torque TSY is equal to 1 upon omega into 3 dP upon d delta. It is a per phase power. Here it is nothing but the per phase power. So for the 3 phase, it is equal to 1 upon omega 3 upon dP, and it is equal to 1 upon omega into 3 multiplied by EF Vt upon XD or XS into cos delta. So this is the synchronizing torque or synchronizing torque coefficient from the synchronizing power coefficient. Now, more the synchronizing, it is also called as a stiffness factor. Synchronizing power coefficient PSY, it is also called as a coefficient. It is also called as a stiffness of stability, or it is the rigidity factor. Rigidity factor. Why it is called as a rigidity factor? More the value of synchronizing power, more the value of synchronizing power coefficient, the system is more stable, or it has a capability to bring the system again into the synchronism after any disturbance in the system. So whenever the system got some or it will have some different transient or disturbance in the system, the synchronizing power coefficient bring the synchronous alternator into the synchronism, or in the stable region or new equilibrium position. So therefore it is called as a stiffness factor or rigidity factor. So this is the things are there. Now suppose what we will do, we will consider that suddenly initially it is working at angle delta. It is really okay. I will draw one more curve. So say this is the power P and this is angle delta. And from this, we have found the synchronizing power coefficient. So this is the value of P, which is equal to EF Vt upon synchronous reactance into sine delta. And whereas it is nothing but PSY, which is equal to dP upon d delta, which is equal to EF Vt upon XS into cos delta. Let a system is stable, means it is working at some particular value where electrical output and mechanical input is same and angle is delta. So here the angle is delta. So delta. Suddenly the load has been increased and there is a change in angle. Change in angle is delta del is going to observe, so that the new value of angle is equal to delta plus delta del, isn't it? So this is the new value. So the synchronizing power under such condition, the synchronizing power may be written as PS equals to synchronizing power coefficient dP upon d delta into delta del. There is a minute change in angle delta. So which is equal to EF Vt upon xs into cos delta delta del. Okay. Now say we will consider at no load condition. At no load condition, delta is equal to 0. Under delta is equal to 0, we can write as equation as delta is equal to 0 and excitation EMF is equal to the terminal voltage. Excitation EMF is equal to the terminal voltage. So we can write as synchronizing power PS is equal to EF. So instead of EF, we will write as a VT. We will write directly as a VT into Vt upon xs into delta del, because cos delta is equal to 1. Therefore, we can write as Vt into Isc into delta del. So Isc is nothing but the short circuit current. Isc is nothing but short circuit current, which is equal to terminal voltage upon synchronous reactance per phase. So synchronous reactance per phase divided by Vt is nothing but the short circuit current. So from this equation, it is quite clear that the synchronizing power is transient in nature. What it means? It means that whenever there is a transient, the synchronizing power comes into the picture and it will play its part. The responsibility of the synchronizing power is to bring the machine again into the synchronous, in the stable region or new equilibrium position. So suppose we will have a new look of this curve is like that. Say for example, this is the this is the angle delta and this is the time. So initially the system is working at delta 0. Say for example, the system is working at delta 0 here. Suddenly the load has been increased. The alternator say it will oscillate to the around the new equilibrium position, and after 2 or 3 oscillation it will settle to the new value, isn't it? So the second value or the second equilibrium position is say delta 1. Okay, so under such condition, after 2 or 3 oscillation, the new equilibrium position is going to found. It is say delta 1. Under such condition, the synchronizing power tried to reduce this oscillation. If there were no synchronizing power, then the system will oscillate for a long time, and it may be possible that it may come out from the synchronism, isn't it? So any change, any sudden change in the system, any disturbance in the system, the disturbance may be due to the sudden increase in load, sudden decrease in load, some application of fault, and say withdrawal of the generating unit, say some of the unit is going to disconnected from the system. So under such condition, the rotor will either accelerate or either decelerate. So their acceleration and deceleration is going to generate the synchronizing power or synchronizing power coefficient. So this synchronizing power coefficient bring the alternator again into the new equilibrium position. Therefore, the synchronizing power is called observed as it is in transient in nature. So this is the it is very important for the two machine system or machine connected to the synchronous bus. And if any change in the system, the machine should bring into the synchronism. Say we can understand with the help of some mechanical analogy. Say there is a one board is there, okay, and over this board there are a number of hooks are there, some random hooks are there, and we have spread some threads over this one, and we have connected to each other in such a way that it will form a grid. And there are some particular loads are there, 1 kg, 1.5 kg, 750 grams are there. So there are different weights are there. So if you just hang some weights, they will oscillate, all will oscillate, and after 2 or 3 oscillation, they will settle to the some equilibrium position. Now, suddenly you disconnect one of the load from the system, this one. So what happened? All the loads again will oscillate, isn't it? So this oscillation is similar to the number of generators are connected in the grid. So there are a number of generating stations are there. Say for example, this is Nasik generating station. This is Jalgaon generating station. This is power generating station. This is say Parli generating station. Those are connected to each other and it will form a grid, isn't it? It may be form a national grid or the state grids are there. So whenever there is a sudden disturbance in any of the system, this sudden disturbance may be the fault on the transmission line, may be the fault in the one of the generating station. So it is suddenly disconnected. Whatever the load on that generating station, it is get transferred to the nearby generating station. If they are under load condition, so they will sustain, it will sustain the load. Otherwise, this generator may become overload and again it will disconnect from the system and it will give the cascade tripping of the generating plant, and it is called as a blackout in the power grid. So the synchronizing power coefficient is the power which is generated due to the disturbance. So why it is generated some power? Now we will look at with the some construction of the synchronous alternator. In the synchronous alternator, we found that in addition to the exciting winding, say this is the stator of a synchronous alternator, which comprises 3-phase winding, 3-phase armature winding. For our simplicity, we will consider this is the salient pole rotor is there. Salient pole rotor is there. Okay. So in the salient pole rotor, this is the DC winding or field winding, which is connected to the DC supply, we have already discussed. So now, in addition to this one, a copper bar are provided over the entire periphery of rotor winding, and these bar are short circuited themselves on the end rings, and this winding is called as a damper winding. This winding is called as a damper winding. So damper winding is similar to the cage, simply cage. There are the number of copper conductors are there. Say this is the cylindrical rotor one, and it is connected the number of bars over the periphery of rotor. So it like a cage. So it is called as a squirrel cage. So now this winding is short circuited themselves with the help of end rings. These are the end rings are there, and it is short circuited themselves. So when they are running at the synchronous speed, say the synchronous speed is ns, synchronous speed, rotor also running at the synchronous speed. So there is no cutting of magnetic flux, and hence the EMF induced in the conductor is zero. EMF induced in the conductor is zero, and current also be the zero. But as soon as the fault occurs, the rotor is going to oscillate. This is the oscillation which we have shown over here. Because of this oscillation, there is a relative motion between the rotating conductor and synchronous flux, isn't it? So there is a change in speed between the magnetic flux and the rotor conductors or rotor bars are there. So it will induce some EMF. It will induce some EMF. And the EMF induced in such a way that it opposes the cause of its production. And what is the cause of its production? The cause of its production is the relative motion between synchronous speed of magnetic flux and rotor speed. And hence, it try to die out the oscillation. It try to die out the oscillation. Therefore, whatever the power developed, it is nothing but the synchronizing power. And this synchronizing power is try to die out the oscillation in the system. So the synchronizing power is very important. Whenever there is a fault in the system, it try to bring the machine again into the synchronism, or it will try to settle to the new angle delta, new equilibrium angle delta. So this is the significance of the synchronizing power coefficient and synchronous power in the alternators.